Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we'll be making a tier list of World War II games. Now this could be FPS games, this could be strategy games, grand strategy games, it doesn't matter. We're just going to be making this tier list based on my personal preference here from games I've played. These games haven't played yet, but I'm going to be ranking them to the best of my ability. And starting off first, we got Battlefield 1942. Now, I have played this game before, but the thing is I haven't played enough of it, I think, to give a fair assessment. But from what I can remember, it was pretty fun. It's campaign mode, but it wasn't like a real campaign mode. It was like AI, bot-filled, kind of like multiplayer matches from Battlefield 1942. So if I had to give it anywhere, you know, between B or C, I'm gonna lean towards the B ranking. Next up, we have another Battlefield game. It's Battlefield 5. Now this game I have mixed opinions on because I first got this game the year it came out. And this game, when it first came out, was not the best. It was not in a good shape here. Now there's been a lot of updates, a lot of tweaking, a lot of content added. To me, it's still not the best game. Obviously, it's not up in this S or A ranking. So I'd have to say, was it better than 1942, Battlefield 1942? Me, I mean, I have played Battlefield 5 more, but I have to say it's a C because the fact that it took a little while to get the ball rolling, I believe it took like a year to get basically all the main content out. It was just a mess. It was a mess. And so I can't really say confidently that that game is in a top tier, like in those top 3 tiers. It's not terrible in my opinion, but certainly not a World War II game I would go to right away. We have Brothers in Arms Road to the Hill 30. Now this game is in a trilogy, I believe, of Brothers in Arms games published by Ubisoft. Now, what I really liked about this game would be controlling your squad and telling your members here from like the assault squad and be like, okay, you know, go over here and then shoot some suppressing fire so that you can flank the enemy wherever you need to go. It has, you know, some clankiness to it. But I think from the story it was trying to tell and the gameplay mechanics that it had implemented, especially for this being a mid-2000s PC game, I believe this game is a pretty solid entry. I'll have to give it a B. I think it's up there. It's a bit, to me at least, above average. Nothing terrible. So next we got Call of Duty 2. Now for me, I'm going to just put in the A tier. This was my first Call of Duty that I played, and it's really got me interested into the whole World War II genre of games and then the topic itself. I loved it. I love the campaign, the Russian campaign in the beginning of the game. Call of Duty 2, I think the gameplay is pretty addictive. I never get a chance to play multiplayer. When I did the campaign itself, it's still a really solid game, and I know there's just no reason to talk about this. If you guys been on my channel before and you've seen the stream, you know that Call of Duty World at War is not only my favorite Call of Duty game, but it's my favorite World War II game of all time. The multiplayer is so fun. I love it. It's addicting. I can never get enough of it. I really love the campaign because other World War II games are trying to portray a more Brothers in Arms story, like this kind of feel-good atmosphere about it. Call of Duty World at War takes that all away. They say not going to portray it as this adventure rid evil. It shows the horrors on both sides. You know, it shows that there are people that are considered to be the good guys, but they're still committing atrocities as well. It's dark, it's atmospheric, and it really just drives the point home that World War II was a brutal and horrific conflict. And I think, from my personal experience, it's part of the best campaign from any World War II game that you'll see, and it really portrays the war and some grim details, and I truly cherish this game. So next, following up, it's Call of Duty World War II. I'm gonna have to give this game a D. It's not terrible, but to me it's below average because this was the first World War II game that Activision had made, or at least in the Call of Duty franchise, since World at War. So we had from 2008 all the way to 2017. I mean, it plays basically, in a way, plays out like the other original trilogy of Call of Duty World War II games, and that's not terrible per se. The difference between those 3 games and Call of Duty World War II is the fact that it came out in 2017. Multiplayer for me kind of lacks. You had your war mode, which was just like a series of like objectives from attacking points, and you would just kind of go like back and forth. And to me, I thought of it as like the whole operations mode, which kind of came out on Battlefield 1 the year prior. So that's where I thought that mode was. The maps were kind of just you know. My personal favorite is the USS Texas map, but to me, just the game itself was I had super high expectations, and boy was I stupid to even think that this game would even come close to World at War. Just never should have even thought of that.
That part was lazily edited to show how bare minimum COD World War II was.
So next we have Call of War. I'm just gonna put in the what category. I've heard of it, I played it before, but I can't really have any, I don't have any memorable moments. Next we have Day of Defeat. Now Day of Defeat originally was a mod, I believe, to the Half-Life game, and then it just became its own separate game. I do own this game, I have played it before. I think it's a pretty fun game, but the issue for me is the skill gap. There's a lot of players that are still playing, but those who are very good at the game. They're very skilled, very talented. I'm not so much, but I can appreciate a game that is good no matter my skill level. For me, I'm gonna have to put Day of Defeat in the A tier. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of quick fun matches here that you're gonna play. I personally do enjoy that game a lot. Next on this list, it's a free-to-play game, Enlisted. Now, I first played Enlisted in 2021 on my PC or my gaming laptop. From that day on, I just loved this game. Enlisted is this multiplayer only free-to-play game. You have different campaigns. You have the Battle of Moscow, you got the Battle of Stalingrad, Pacific campaigns in there, Battle of Normandy. In this game for it to be, you know, free-to-play, and there are a lot of paying aspects to it. But from my experience, I've never really witnessed or noticed anything. I didn't need to buy anything to get the game optimized. Since you are in a squad of 4, you're going to be having bots, so most of the time you're running into bots and not actual players. But Enlisted, for what it is, it's a free-to-play game. It's really fun, very fantastic. I'm going to put that in the B territory. Well, next we got Hearts of Iron 4, and people who know me know I have strong opinions on this game. I don't really like Hearts of Iron 4 anymore.
You need to leave!
But from my own experience, I realized that maybe this is not the best game out there. It's certainly an amazing game. I can't even lie about that. No matter how I feel about it personally, I still think this is a very fun game. It's fantastic, and the first couple of campaigns are gonna be special. So I found the game to be really fun, but after a while, you start to notice it's like the same things, especially with the base game. DLCs that have been coming out, reviews for those are worse and worse as then each new one comes out, and it's at the point where you feel like they should just make a new game. I mean, the game is basically 7 years old. There's no reason why I think they should continue updating this game. I feel like we're at the point where we need another Hearts of Iron. And with all these kind of negatives, I can still overlook that and see the positives in this game. I may be critiqued for this, for not putting in the S, but I also may be critiqued putting it so high for some. But I think Hearts of Iron 4 deserves the A tier. It's really a good game. So next we have Hell Let Loose. At Day of Defeat, this game has a steep learning curve. The whole point of this game is to be the exact opposite of Call of Duty. You're not wanting to go out and about and run and gun. Because if you're gonna try to do that, you're gonna die. You're gonna actually have to do teamwork. I enjoyed it. I mean, I die a lot like I do in Day of Defeat. It's been a lot of fun. It's another A tier game for me. Now we have Sniper Elite 4. Now this is interesting. I have played the Sniper Elite game. It's interesting that the person who created this list put Sniper Elite 4 and not just the Sniper Elite franchise. Sniper Elite 4 was the first one I did play, and I mean, it's a pretty average game again. It's fun, but it's certainly not my favorite Sniper Elite game. Between a C or a B, I feel like it's a C. It may be a controversial take, but Sniper Elite 4 definitely to me is not the best. And finally we got Wolfenstein The New Order. Love Wolfenstein The New Order. So where would I put this here? Campaign is fantastic. The gunplay, it's more of a retro early 90s feel to it. Still keeps it modern, but there are some aspects and mechanics in the game that feel more 90s, and that's not a bad thing. Put Wolfenstein The New Order, I put it I put in the B tier list. It's not my go-to World War II game that I would suggest to people, specifically for the fact that it's technically not a World War II game. You are in World War II at the beginning of the game, the first couple of missions, but after that, you're way outside World War II. You're in the 60s fighting Nazis. There you guys have it, my official World War II video game tier list. A lot of them I didn't really play. That's actually a good thing for me because I think it gives me an opportunity to try these games out. But I would like to know your guys' opinions down below. What do you guys think? Does this list scream stupidity to you? Do you guys just think, what am I thinking, putting Day of Defeat over such games like, I guess, Battlefield 5 or Steel Division? Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite World War II game is. If you'd like to play more World War II games, please let me know down in the comments below what World War II games you suggest me to play. I'm Jdog 4673, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.